Hello, dear sisters. I'm Sue Hegarty, your American Baptist missionary in Costa Rica. Thank you so much for fundraising for the Fresh Start in Costa Rica project over the past year. Your gifts will make this wonderful project come to life. So thank you, and muchas gracias. I'd like to share with you some of the wonderful ministry happenings this past year that will now be expanded as a result of this project. I understand your theme this year is hospitality, and I do believe that is what this ministry is all about. We all share God's invitation to come in, to be part of God's family, to share and also receive God's love, forgiveness, and salvation. My ministry focus is on assisting immigrant women and children coming out of situations of domestic violence. God is the foundation of this ministry and also woven into every part of it. Tony, the oldest child in the family, graduated from high school this past December, at the same time as his youngest brother graduated from kindergarten. What a joy it was to be there for the ceremony and then have a party afterwards. Their mother never finished elementary school because her father pulled her out to work selling fruits and vegetables, but she wants all her children to finish their education. The children in our program attend public school, and school begins in February each year and then ends in December. But even though public school is free, the parents are still responsible for buying uniforms, regulation shoes, notebooks, supplies, and even some textbooks. This year, we assisted 7 children with these expenses because it's a hardship for their mothers to pay these items. I was overjoyed to find that Ura, one of the mothers, had enrolled in night school to finish her elementary school education. Her parents took her out of school over 25 years ago to care for her siblings, and she has always regretted never finishing. My daughter Katie tutored her in English because it had been taught in such a confusing way. Ura took her exams for 3rd grade in June and passed with flying colors. So now she's taking 4th grade level classes and hopes to finish her 6th grade by the end of next year. She needs bus money and school supplies as well. And since her mother always laughed at her when she tried to study before, we make sure to celebrate her achievements and encourage her to continue. Ura, however, has suffered disappointment because her 15-year-old daughter refused to go back to school this year. Instead, she went to live with her grandmother in Nicaragua, escaping her mother by saying she was only going for a visit. In all probability, she'll never finish high school, leaving her with one less protection against being a victim of domestic violence. Ura's family has a very unhealthy dynamic, and I believe she would benefit from some long-term counseling. As we work with the children, we've spotted extra needs. One of the children has a learning difficulty, so testing by a professional is needed to figure out where to go from here. And another child has a speech impediment, but his school doesn't have a therapist. We also have a high school senior, Hazel, who wants to get into university to become a teacher. But she should be tutored before taking the college entrance exams this fall so that she'll have a better chance to score well and thus ensure her entrance into the public university. She also would be a big candidate for a scholarship based on their family income. These are all areas where your project money will make it possible to make a difference. This year, we've had a successful residency renewal, as well as 2 new applications by children who were brought to Costa Rica when they were young. It's a costly thing because it entails returning to Nicaragua to get a passport and then obtaining a visa from Costa Rica, then returning to Costa Rica and turning in all the paperwork at the immigration offices. But it's not just the paperwork. It also costs $250 per person to finish the application process in Costa Rica, which is not something a family that only makes $400 a month has sitting around. But how important is residency? Well, Tony, our high school graduate, will tell you that it's very important. Even though he graduated, he hasn't been able to get a job because he can't legally work without residency. So he is applying once again because his first attempt fell through while I was on home assignment. But you know, even though Tony can't work for the time being, other than helping his sister take the younger siblings to and from school while their mother works full-time as a maid, he can study. And we were able to get him a used computer, and he began a course as well as studying online whatever he can get his hands on. He's interested in cybersecurity as a future profession. Again, the Fresh Start in Costa Rica project can assist the children and mothers get training for their futures. These families have a difficult time making ends meet. So periodically we make trips to PriceSmart, which is similar to Sam's Club, to help out with household and food supplies, to help stretch their budgets and hopefully ensure a minimum of healthy options in their diet. Sometimes we also give emergency assistance in paying an overdue electric bill or put in some money to complete their rent. When the mothers try to start an income-producing venture such as selling bread, we try to help them out with some of the startup materials. Franco, my daughter's boyfriend, is a teacher and does homeschooling for a wealthy family. They've given at least 12 bags filled with quality clothing and toys this past year. One of the women even helps me sort the clothes since she has a good eye for who might fit. Last Christmas, these used items made wonderful gifts for 2 families, and then earlier this year, they blessed 3 other families. In Costa Rica, we celebrate International Book Day in April, and I was able to take advantage of special sales to get a book for each child we work with this year. I do believe that encouraging reading is key to their education and development. But a major part of my ministry is Christian hospitality. It's hosting get-togethers at my home, which gives the kids a chance to interact. My daughter Katie is really good with them and will tell me what she sees in each child, both positive things and also needs that we can help them improve. She's put together educational brain games, which the kids love, in addition to just running around playing fun games with them. Franco provides a positive male role model as he roughhouses with the boys, shows them how to cook, and does some tutoring, which really looks like a game to them. For Easter, we celebrated with a cookout with 13 people, where they dyed Easter eggs and hid them in the backyard. I take advantage of these times to talk to the mothers in private, to find out what's going on in their lives, to counsel with them and pray with them. Fresh Start in Costa Rica will allow me to hold more of these get-togethers. Earlier in the year, I had the experience of being a backup for one of the families while mom traveled to help one of the children get his documents for residency. So we decided to go on a train ride for less than $1 a person as an outing, and then head to a nice park. It was a fabulous experience for the children as they'd never been on a train before. And as I've reflected on this, I realized that that is exactly what my parents did for me. They gave me new experiences. These children all live in areas where they're mostly cooped up in substandard housing because it's not safe to go out, or the park is too far away. Their mothers can't afford outings. So one of my dreams, which can be expanded with the Fresh Start in Costa Rica project, is continued outings to help them thrive. There are museums and beautiful places in Costa Rica which are only gas money away. Yet these kids would never get to experience them if we don't make it happen. As my daughter reminded me, we don't want them to grow up with a scarcity mentality, Mom. We want them to have a possibility mentality. And with the Fresh Start in Costa Rica project, and especially with God's help, we will continue to serve these women and children recovering from domestic violence as they grow into their God-given potential. Thank you so very much.